Just a heads up, there might be some slight spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, come back afterwards. Enjoy!
Whoa, he's bisexual. I didn't know that.
By the way, I'm bisexual. I forgot.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is, unsurprisingly, the third installment in the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise. With insight like that, you have to wonder why I bother writing scripts anymore. This trilogy, and by extension this movie, will go down as one of the biggest redemption stories in film history. If you had told me in 2019, when that initial teaser trailer for the first Sonic movie came out with that horrendous design, that one trailer would result in possibly the best video game movie trilogy of all time, I would have asked what you're drinking and could you pass me some. But thanks to a team of filmmakers who wanted to make a worthwhile project, a group of animators who worked tirelessly to fix a baffling mistake, and a mob of passionate fans, to put it politely, we got a really solid Sonic movie. And after that, we got a sequel that was even better. And after that, we got a third film that is the best out of all of them. And the moral of the story is, cyberbullying is really effective. In all seriousness, I am so blown away by the turnaround these movies have done, and Sonic 3 delivers on everything you'd want to see out of a Sonic movie. The story this time around is that Shadow has escaped gun headquarters and teamed up with Dr. Robotnik and his grandfather to destroy the world, and it's up to Team Sonic to stop them. The stakes in this movie are the highest they've been, and they do a good job at making this movie feel large and epic while staying consistent with the tone set by these movies. Naturally, having Shadow in this movie and the tragedy that comes with that character means the movie does get pretty dark in spots. But I like that they didn't just shoot a child and call it a day. They actually develop their relationship and get you to care and feel for them so that when what happens, it hits all the harder and you can sympathize with Shadow's pain. I didn't expect to be feeling genuine sadness for a cartoon hedgehog, but god damn it, they made it work. The themes of not letting pain consume you and working as a team, while not the deepest in the world, are executed fairly well and lead to some heartfelt moments between Sonic and Shadow. And the acting in this movie is surprisingly really good. This is honestly some of Ben Schwartz's best work as this character. He's still that cocky, hyperactive child from the first two movies, but when things get intense and he needs to get more emotional, he does really well. Keanu Reeves does a good job as Shadow. He's very stoic and brooding and talks like an anime character, but he also has his fair share of funny and heartfelt moments as well. Jim Carrey has come out of retirement to play Robotnik again, and this time there's two of him. You can tell he has a blast playing this character, and he is so much fun to watch in this. Even though they probably let him riff a bit too much here, he does a good job making Ivo and Gerald feel like separate characters. He plays really well off himself, and the budding romance between him and Agent Stone is both hilarious and adorable. Sonic's human family are thankfully relegated to the background, and they're only really in it out of obligation, but they are good in the short time they're there, and they work in providing an emotional center for Sonic's arc in the film. But like I said at the start, this movie knows what you're coming to see, and it absolutely fucking delivers. I had a friend who was talking about seeing the Captain Underpants movie, and they described the experience like taking your inner child out for ice cream and buying them the latest toy. And that's what I hearken this movie to. There are scenes in this movie that will make even the most jaded, cynical asshole squeal in utter delight. The action sequences in this are so well done. They make great use of the characters' abilities, they do everything you'd want to see them do, they take it to different parts of the world and even into space, and it looks incredible. And of course, if you're a diehard Sonic fan, the references and Easter eggs will no doubt be a joy to spot. I saw the movie with my cousin Kevin, who runs the Jubilife Terminal podcast, and seeing him nerd out every time they made a reference gave me secondhand euphoria. What I appreciated about the references is that, for the most part, they weren't super overt or in your face. Whenever they quote something that I recognized from the game, it was cool, but it made enough sense in context to where it didn't feel awkward or super shoehorned in. They make nods to other Sonic games, other Sega games, even stuff from the real-time fan dub, which is absolutely amazing. It's clear the people working on this series are huge fans, and that absolutely comes across in this movie. If I had to be super critical, not everything about the movie works. jokes. Some of the humor felt kind of awkward and random, and not all of it landed. And I guess in trying to fit all of these elements into the story, the pacing can feel a bit rushed. The movie jumps around a lot, things get resolved relatively quickly, and some moments don't get the time to breathe that they might need. But honestly, I'm grasping at straws here, guys. I'm struggling to find stuff I didn't like in this movie. I'm not even a hardcore Sonic fan, and I still found myself grinning ear to ear when Live and Learn kicked in. This feels like the definitive Sonic movie. Not necessarily that it stands on its own, but the progression from movie 1 to movie 3 feels natural and feels earned. If you haven't liked the previous movies, I don't know if this will win you over, but if you did like the other movies, and especially if you're a Sonic fan, you will be in heaven watching this movie. Maybe it's because I'm still riding the high from having seen it, but honestly, this is probably in the top 10 of the year for me. I'm excited to see it again, and I'm excited to see where they take this series next. I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5.